Moscow downtown. We're gonna ask Moscovites what they think about the war and about the special operation in Ukraine. Nowadays, these are two different questions. Due to bills recently passed, we are not allowed to name the special operation that is taking place in Ukraine a war. So we are going to talk about the war in general and find out what people think about the situation in Ukraine in particular. War is always a bad thing. What do you think of the special operation that is going on in Ukraine? I think those who started it should think everyone is for peace everywhere. It would be very strange to want any war to happen. What's happening now is painful for everybody. Everybody is waiting for it to stop. I've tried to be out of politics, but actually I lost my Ukrainian friends. We've stopped communicating, so it's hard for me to take it all. Everyone understands everything, no comment. I don't think that this conflict will take place for long. I hope everything will be okay anyway. As a Russian person, if I say something like, yeah, we don't want war, stuff like that, they might say, yeah, so you're for Putin. In fact, you want a war, and whoever is silent is for war. How do you feel about the special operation that is taking place in Ukraine? Maybe... no, I can't answer. Honestly, I just want there to be world peace, and I don't want people to suffer, because the whole of my grandmother's family is in Ukraine, and I'm very worried about how she feels about it all. There were tears in her eyes when she was talking with her relatives in Ukraine. They said, "You are all our enemies, we don't know you anymore, you don't know us, you don't call anymore." That scares me, because we're basically one nation, fraternal ones, let's say, and I feel sorry that ordinary people suffer because of these political games. Do you have relatives in Ukraine? Not today. And before, there used to be. And what do you think about that? Nothing. Politics, though. Do you consider yourself involved in this politics, or do you prefer to stay away? I wouldn't like to consider myself involved. I'm not staying away, though. I'm half Ukrainian. I think the majority, the same part of the population, doesn't want war. All people are brothers. When I was a kid, I read a book about White Russia, Red Russia, and Black Russia. Black Russia is where we are. White Russia, well, I don't even need to explain. And Red Russia is where Kiev nowadays. There are even still no borders. There is no war. Do you have relatives or friends in Ukraine? Yeah, I have relatives. Is the current situation hindering your personal relationships? No, it's not hindering. And how do you feel about what's going on? Controversial attitude? Like everybody else, I guess it's complicated. You can't say it's positive, because it's hard to have a positive attitude toward. But I wouldn't say it could have been avoided in any way. And what do you think this split stems from? What did it start with? Well, I would say it's just lack of money, that's all. Somebody just doesn't have enough money. Do you think we can, or maybe we should do something about it? You know, I'm weak to help in this issue. I'm just weak. This special operation shouldn't make any casualties, because we are all human, and I think what's happening is inappropriate in the 21st century. And of course, all Russians are for world peace. Both we and Ukrainians speak the same language, so of course I'm against all of this. I want everyone to be safe. Do you have any Ukrainian friends from here? Yes, I have acquaintances, relatives in Ukraine, lots of them. I'm so worried about them, they're all scared. I'm sorry that this is happening, but unfortunately I'm not responsible for what's going on. The only thing I can do is providing them with the emotional support they need. Do you have relatives or friends in Ukraine? I have. And have current events affected your relationship? We have different opinions on this, but we try not to touch this topic in conversation and stay in touch as we used to. Do you manage to keep a good relationship, or are there some misunderstandings? Maybe deep down they even blame us as representatives of Russia. I think they blame not exactly citizens like us. Maybe they blame our government, the soldiers, the military. Do you agree that we elected this government, so as voters, we are also responsible for its actions? The government decides what to do, I think, not taking people's opinion into account. So we don't feel responsible. Do you consider yourself involved in these actions that our leader commits? Is there anything we can do to stop this? Did anybody ask us? Nobody asked us, so I don't consider myself involved. The only thing we can do, I guess, is to provide support to friends, relatives who are there, and not get into a panic. Do you think Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus are one nation, or are they different? Why does it matter? Well, it's important for me to understand. This video is going to be watched by a Western audience, and it's important for me to understand, do we think of ourselves as being on opposite sides, or rather do we think of something in common, a commonality of people, commonality of language, culture, and see it as an internal conflict? Do you think this is an internal conflict? I think it's a man-made conflict, you know? It was set up a couple of decades ago. It's been developing in that direction purposefully. Of course, I'm worried about their emotional state, but I think we need to be more united now and realize that the government decides what to do and civil society's voice is not always heard. I guess things will get better soon. I really hope so, because I wouldn't like to have a hostile relationship with anybody. People shouldn't go through such a horror that's going on right now. Do you think that this special operation can be justified anyhow? Does it have any rational reasons? No, it hasn't, and when people tell that the West violated agreements, I remind them about Crimea. Agreements were broken as well, and Russia was the first to break them. Do you think you are responsible for violating the agreements? I mean, as a people of Russia, we have a leader, and we are responsible for his decisions anyway. Do you agree with that? On the one hand, yeah, because we have elections, you always have to vote. But on the other hand, I couldn't vote for the new president because I was a minor. But I was sent my family and say, please, vote not for this leader that we have now. Do you have friends or relatives in Ukraine? Yeah, friends. Has this situation affected your relationship? No, we call each other more often now, asking how things are going. Are they able to ignore the fact that you live in Russia and not make you a tyrant or aggressor? Yes, because we are friends and we have a relationship that's never been influenced by the political situation, and so we know that we are good people, but our government does bad things. Is the war justified if it has any specific goals? I don't think war has any goals at all. I don't know.